evangelization is a word that you would have heard a lot recently. Probably those of you who have been Catholics for the last 30, 40 years of your life, for the first 20, 30 years, you didn't hear much about it. You didn't hear your priest telling you, you have to evangelize. Catholics have to evangelize. Now suddenly after being Catholic for 30 years, your priest tells you, hey, you have to evangelize. You say, what? What? You've never heard of that word. And suddenly now we talk about having to evangelize. And that actually, Father was asking you a while ago, what has evangelization got to do with being Catholic? Everything. An intrinsic nature of being Catholic is to evangelize. To be the church is to evangelize. And that's what's so important about this whole topic of evangelization. So it is not a negotiable that as Catholics, we have to share our faith. It's not a negotiable. It's not something that we can talk about or discuss whether we can compromise to a certain extent this responsibility to evangelize the world, right? It's a God-given mission to everyone who is a member of the church by virtue of our baptism and our confirmation. We do not have a choice. So for me, it's this whole compelling idea that as a Catholic, it is my responsibility to evangelize according to the particular way that God has given to me, for me to evangelize. Of course, not everyone is called to travel around to preach the word, but there are those who are called to do so, and then there are those who are called to be bearers of the word in their families, in their places of work, in their parishes. So in accordance with our different states of life, we are all called to evangelize. And so the church teaches that evangelization is the duty of every Catholic, because the church is missionary by her very nature. Pope Paul VI, in his apostolic exhortation, Evangelii Nuntiandi, he says, we wish to confirm once more that the task of evangelizing all people constitutes the essential mission of the church. It is a task and mission which the vast and profound changes of present-day society make all the more urgent. Evangelizing is in fact the grace and vocation proper to the church, her deepest identity. She exists in order to evangelize. Evangelization defines our nature. It is what it means to be Catholic. Therefore, evangelization is an order, an instruction, an imperative. It is not a suggestion given by Christ, not an invitation by the church. It is an obligation given to us by virtue of our baptism and our confirmation. If you are a Catholic, the onus is on you to think in as creatively a way as you can on how that life of yours, that honorable life of yours, is going to be a medium for the proclamation of the gospel in the most creative ways possible. In your daily environments, your family life, and in the marketplace where you work, you have excellent opportunities to be witnesses of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Gone are those days when we can look to the religious and the clergy to be fully responsible for this task. It was never meant to be that way. The time has passed for that. So Pope John Paul II says, the bishops, together with their churches, ought to be engaged in forming and increasing the number of laity who are ready to collaborate effectively in the work of evangelization. And for that, of course, lay people have to be trained and released to be missionaries in the church for this new evangelization.